Hello, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. Not exactly sure who this message is for, but I am assuming you will find your way to me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait a few. It how can I put it this way? The I was trying to take a nap earlier today and it didn't happen. Instead, it was a vision that was shown to me. Sorry, guys, it's like something on the computer. And I'm watching, and it's a woman with a child, with a boy actually, and I don't know what I'm feeling with this message is either for somebody who is physically sick or has a child that is physically sick, and it was the mother and the child were in a hospital and they just kept going around in circles everywhere that like every doctor, every nurse, whoever they were asking for help, they just kept sending them to like a different part or a different department. But the mother kept on seeing the exit door but wouldn't walk towards it because she was just, again, they were just kept sending her like in circles and circles and circles and circles and circles, and she just couldn't get out. She couldn't get out of the hospital. And the message that is coming through is, and again, I'm not telling everybody not to follow their doctor's advice or anything like that. As always, whatever it is that your intuition is following you to do. But I think that this is more for someone who has decided not to take their doctor's advice and instead is following some type of home remedy or something that somebody is telling them to take or telling them to do. Now, I am all for healing with natural things and nature things, as you guys know, my history and things like that. But whoever it is that is guiding this person hasn't even healed themselves. So it's like if you're going for someone in a spiritual sense to try and get healing or try and get help, if that person is not balanced within themselves, then what are you exactly gaining? Are you taking the same imbalance that those individuals have, or are you actually benefiting from what it is that they're telling you to do or what they're guiding you to do? Again, whether it is you yourself that is sick or if you have a child that is sick, it's like just going in circles. And I mean, we can apply this message to any area of your life where you know where it is that you have to go, you know where the exit is, you know which way it is that you have been led to go, or which path you have been led to take. But it's like you're continuously listening to individuals who are either not even aware what their path is or have decided not to go down their path. And in a sense, instead of you going forward, instead of you seeing change, instead of you manifesting, you're finding yourself right back where you started. So the question is, can you see the exit? And if you can, then what are you doing keeping yourself stuck in your current situation? Because if following your intuition has led you to see where the exit is, led you to know where it is that you're supposed to be going, but a person here and a person here is telling you different things. No, go left, go right. And you're like, but if I go straight, it's right there. And it's like you're causing yourself to go into these never ending circles that you're kind of like in a loop, not knowing how to get out, even though the exit is right there. And how much longer do you want to be stuck in the situation that you're stuck? Whether it's financial, health, love, whatever it is. It's like, how is it that you want the exit to come to you versus you going towards it? Because it's like whatever it is, whatever clarity you have been seeking has already been given to you. So what have you done? What action have you done to actually start walking towards that exit door, to actually start walking towards your towards your happiness, towards your joy? And yes, it's going to, at some level, it's going to cause some type of grief, let's say, for those that you're leaving behind, or for those that are not seeing the exit. Hello, Nicole. But do you rather continue on, and the word, and this has been like the word of the week, I guess, dishonor yourself, is like you're dishonoring yourself by keeping yourself stuck in your current situation. You are dishonoring yourself by not taking action in the things that you yourself have prayed for, you yourself have meditated for, you yourself have asked and wished for, and have pleaded for this clarity, so that you can go ahead and take the steps that are necessary. And now that the clarity has been brought to you, you're just kind of sitting there. And it's like, why are you sitting there? And to be honest with you guys, I look at how mess. I'm like, I was getting ready, taking a shower and stuff, getting ready to finish my day for today. And then it was like, no, you have to hop on. And I'm like, seriously? I couldn't hop on when I was like all dressed up and stuff. But it's like, we have to get to a place where, if you have gotten this far in your journey, you have gotten this far in your path, and you look back at where you were and you analyze what you have overcome, whether it's physically or emotionally, mentally, then, and spiritually as well, then if your intuition is telling you to go straight, regardless of what anybody's saying, then why don't you, there you go. Don't ask me who they're working at, because they're not even in the room. It's like, all right, guys, they hear you. They said hi. It's now they're like right by the door barking too. But it's like, what are you afraid? Why are you so afraid to go against someone else? If someone is telling you, no, it goes this way, but you see it from a different perspective, you can go ahead and listen to what they have to say, but you don't have to change your opinion. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to change your truth to make someone else comfortable or to honor someone else, because then what are you doing to yourself? Again, you're putting yourself in the back burner. You're not listening to your own intuition. And it's like, our intuition, we all have it. The thing is that some of us can just go with the flow, can just literally, it's like we don't even have to like tap into anything. We don't have to anything. It's like you wake up and it's like you're doing all of these things on a day-to-day basis, from the things that you're eating, from the things that how you dress, whatever colors you choose, and this and this and that. And that is all part, it goes kind of like it's all combined when it comes to your intuition. It's like you're either preparing for something that is coming, or you're being warned of something that is coming, or you're being protected of something. So it's like, it is very easy for individuals, us as human, to put our faith on someone or something else. But it's like, why can't you put the same amount of faith that you have on somebody that is telling you something, or on something else? It's like, why can't you put that faith in yourself? Why can't you put that faith? Why can't you just reflect that back to yourself and be like, you know what? This is what I'm being asked to do. Who cares what anybody thinks? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it, because this is what makes me happy. This is what's bringing me fulfillment within myself. And this is what allows me to feel balanced. Now, a lot of people have their different opinions when it comes, you either say you're grounded, you're balanced, you're centered, whatever it is. But ultimately, that is what we're all seeking, is to find that balance within ourselves, so that we can be ourselves without having to apologize for it, without having to apologize for how we express ourselves, or how we view things, how we see things, how we talk, how we carry ourselves, how we dress, etc. And it's like, a lot of people, especially with everything that is going on in the world at the moment, are being censored, or are being very cautious about what they say or what they don't say, because they feel that they don't want to go against anyone. But it's like, everybody else is out there living their truth. They're out there living their life, and they're not worrying about whether they're offending you or not. And it is not, and technically you're not even supposed to be getting offended by someone's truth, because that is, they're viewing their truth based on what they have experienced, based on their life, their path. So it shouldn't offend you in any way. And In the same way, you shouldn't have to keep quiet. If you feel that there is something that you're supposed to be speaking up for, or something that you're supposed to be standing up for, then you're supposed to go ahead and do that. Trigger, along with my daughter, just scared. People speaking against me on that. Parents. Nicole, and that's the thing, is like everybody with, and if you're in that position right now, my advice would be to stay off of social media as much as possible, because again, regardless of which end you're listening to, especially like whether it's the news, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever it is, there's tactics used on both ends. And the only advice that I can really tell you is to go within yourself to see what it is that your intuition is telling you. Where does your faith lie? Because prior to all of this starting last year, I had said that there was something that was coming. I wasn't exactly sure what it was because it wasn't shown to me. It wasn't given clear. But all I was told was that I was going to be okay. I was going to be safe. My family and those that were connected with me were going to be okay. And the thing is that, with everything that is going on currently, there's a lot that has to do with spirituality, even though a lot of people are denying it, or a lot of people don't want to see it that way. But you have to do whatever it is that your intuition is guiding you to do, because whether it is something that I agree with or not, or whether it is something your mother, your sister, your brother, your father, your whoever agrees with it or not, it is something that is meant for you to follow at the time. Maybe there's something that has to bring you clarity within the current situation that you're in. So again, it's always about following your own intuition. Yes, it is always good to speak to others and see, if somebody says, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to do this, or if you don't do this, you're this. And it's like, trying to communicate, trying to see why it is that they feel that way. Because a lot of people, if we just use wearing a mask for an example, you have people that are 100% for it and 100% against it, but nobody's really talking as to why they feel that way. It is just a battle, like, okay, if you don't wear a mask, you are irresponsible. If you wear a mask, you're stupid. And it's like people are just going at it, but nobody's speaking from their own experiences as to what led them to either choose to wear or not to wear a mask. The same thing with everything else that is going on. And it's like we have to get to a point where we're learning, or we can at least try to learn to communicate with each other to a point where we can actually express and at least try. And because when we talk about our past and we talk about the things that we have experienced, it is not about being stuck in those energies. It's not about staying stuck in those energies, but it allows the other person to kind of get a picture, an idea as to why you're standing your ground, or why you're choosing to see things or view things a different way. But then again, you have people that say, oh, if you're talking about your past, you're still stuck in the past. And it's like, no, there's different aspects of it. And nothing is black and white. There's a huge gray area within everything. But the main message for today is like, if you're finding yourself going in circles and you're finding yourself stuck in a specific place, it's like, it is time to go ahead and see. And it's like, you're going to have to actively block out everyone. And if you cannot be on social media, if you can't speak to certain people for a certain period of time because they are, let's say, their personality or whatever is a little bit more aggressive or a little bit more assertive than yours, and you feel intimidated by them, then it's okay to have a distance, to kind of have that moment to yourself, to kind of clear your thoughts, to see exactly what it is that your intuition is telling you versus what it is that others are telling you. I'm just reading your thing. Yeah, no, and then when it comes to finances as a single parent, when you first jump into that, let's put it that way, the first step you go ahead and you take as a single parent, it can be very difficult because you're no longer counting with a second income, and sometimes for a long period of time you're just with one income. But again, we have to shift that back to your faith. If up to now you have been able to pay your bills, you have been able to pay your rent and do everything, then not allowing that fear of what if I don't have creep in, because if it starts to creep in, then it's like slowly and surely you're going to end up not having. Why? Because you're calling in, you're attracting in more of that energy of not having. So what starts to happen? Either your car starts to break down, you start having more issues, you start having this, you have, and then it's like the money that you had specifically, let's say for the rent and for your bills, now has to go into other things. So again, it's always coming back to that faith. And whatever, however it is that you want to say it, you believe in God, you believe in the universe, Mother Earth, whatever it is. You're welcome, Nicole. But it's always going back to that faith. And it's not, some people assume that it just comes naturally, and it does get easier as time goes by, and as you practice and you are aware of your thoughts, you are aware of what you're physically doing on a day-to-day basis, and how different things outside can influence. But it's a work in progress. It's not something that is going to happen overnight. But it's like, again, it's like, you'll have people that spend 5 or 6 days in a church, and they get a flat tire, and all of a sudden it's like the entire world is crashing down on them. And it's like, but if you're spending 6 days in a church worshiping and having faith in God, and you get a flat tire, how are you going to tell me that you don't have faith that you're going to fix that flat tire like in time for you to do what you have to do? And those are the little things that when it comes to faith, we tend to forget. It's like, it's very easy to get into that fear mode, because at the moment we're allowing the fear to consume us. We're allowing the fear to take a hold. And, fear is something that is always going to be there. It's always going to be there. It is a matter of overcoming it at the moment, if that makes any sense. And there's different ways to do it. There's definitely different ways depending on where the fear is coming from. Sometimes, praying can help, meditating, dancing. Like, it's always going back to yourself, because the thing is that we tend to listen to a lot of people, to what others have to say, to others' opinion, but we fail to listen to ourselves. So if, let's say, for example, I was having a conversation with a person the other day, and she tells me that she doesn't call herself a vegetarian or a vegan. And I was like, okay, why? She goes like, well, because if somebody makes me something with milk or an animal product and they offer it to me, I'll eat it, not to make them feel bad. But if your body, and you have chosen not to eat meat, let's say, or not to eat or be vegan, whatever, and that's a choice that you made, regardless of whatever the situation is, then why are you going to be ashamed to say, no, thank you, I don't do dairy products? That's it. And they can say, they can think, it doesn't really matter what comes out of their mouth. It ends, your energy in that space ends when you say, no, thank you. Or no, like, you'll say, no, thank you, but you can just say no. It's a full sentence. It's like, no, thank you. That's it. They can say whatever they want, because the thing is that if at the time you're being led not to eat something, or let's say, okay, so if you're severely allergic to peanuts, and I know that, and I go ahead and I'm like, oh, here, I'm eating a Reese's, you want some? You're going to eat it and literally put your life at risk because you don't want to offend me. It's like, we all have choices to make. Yes, make fear your friend. Exactly. Because it's always going to be there. We're always going to be in positions where, even if it's for like a split second, you're going to fear like, oh, what are they going to think? Oh, what are they going to say? And it's like, we have to learn to shift out of that, because seriously, most people are so focused or so consumed with the fear in their life that sometimes even if you stand up to them, they don't even realize it, because they're just looking for others that are in the same space and want to stay stuck in the same energy, if that makes any sense. So it's like, you don't have to go into arguments with people. You don't have to fight. You don't have to defend what it is that you believe in or what it is that you're doing or etc. It's like if you say no, it's no. And if somebody cannot respect your no, then that by itself shows you that they really don't they really don't belong in the space that they're in currently. So that was pretty much it. I did that message for whoever it is, like, with the child. It's like it's time to start listening to your own intuition, because it's like continuing to just follow, like, yeah, we do readings. We try and excuse me, bring everyone as much clarity as possible. But you guys all know that even if I'm sitting here and I'm doing a reading, not everything that I'm going to say is going to resonate with you. So it's like, if only one word, if only one sentence resonates, then that's the only thing that you take. You don't take the rest because it is not for you. Maybe that other part of the message is for someone else. And, we're here to try and bring clarity, but do not live your life based on what we're seeing, because energy is constantly constantly changing. It's just like, based on your reaction or your actions, based on someone's reactions or actions, response, whatever it is, things are going to change. We try to bring everybody clarity to help you, especially if we see something that can be like a problem in the a problem, or if there's something that is trying to come in like as a blessing or something that you may be blocking yourself without being aware. That is really what we're here for. But at the end of the day, your intuition is what you're supposed to be listening to. So I want to go ahead, I'm going to pull out an Angels and Ancestors Oracle card and see what wants to come out to leave you guys. And I will be going live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time for the weekend reading. I think 10 a.m. is going to be the official time. I actually like that time for Thursdays. If it were to change, I will let you guys know. But for now, okay, two flew out. Let's see. So we have Eagle, see from a higher perspective is the first card. And then we have the Shaman, trust in higher forces. So these are the two cards. So we're going to start off with the Eagle first. And I'm going to go ahead and read this. Page 124. Ooh, let's see. Almost there, guys. Alrighty. Look at things from a different angle. Fly higher and see new possibilities. So that was the first card. And then the second one. Let's go ahead and see what page this is on. Shaman, where is it? Page 64. It's hot in here, guys. I have a fan like right next to me. I'm like, it's either the fan or the AC. The AC is a little loud though. All right. Trust in your angels, guides, and ancestors. If you have given your power away, claim it back. And I feel that, when it comes to that vision that I was having, like running around in circles, it's like, it's probably a lot of you probably without even realizing have given your power away just by coming into agreement with something that really, really wasn't part of your path. And again, it can just be as simple as agreeing with an entire reading when only a portion of that reading was for you. And, we come into agreement with people, not just in writing, but also verbally on a daily basis. So it's like, just be, just whatever it is, and again, and I say that because it's different every single day. When I wake up every morning is a different type of workout. Sometimes I need something that is more masculine. Sometimes I need something that is more feminine, more, a dancing workout or something. Sometimes I need to pray for a certain amount of hours. Sometimes I need to meditate for a couple of hours. Sometimes I need to just be out in the freaking woods back there and just be in nature. Sometimes I can't wait until it rains so I can just be in the rain. Sometimes I want to be in a busy place. And it's like, again, I don't question my intuition. I just go with it because so far it has not misled me. What has misled me is when others want me to go against my own intuition. Others want me to follow their truth versus following my own. And that I feel that that is what where a lot of people have to try to get to a place. It's like you have to realize that regardless of how much, an advice comes in many different ways, and it's always good to take advice. But again, you're welcome, Nicole. um, it's like you have to, it's like it's essential for you to follow your intuition. The advice that others give you, it may just be one word that you needed to hear from that, not the entire advice. So whenever anyone is giving you any advice or anything like that, it's like take that time, sit with it, and see what it is that is coming from within you, what it is that you have to do, what it is that you have to follow. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you for today. I will see you guys back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye. Now let's see if we can end this, right? Alrighty.